Welcome to Leaders Circle, everyone. I'm Justin Harrison, and it's a huge honor and privilege to introduce you to this 21-week campaign. We're very excited that you have chosen to accept this challenge and that your upline leaders and mentors have recommended that you participate in this 21-week campaign. So why Leaders Circle? What is this really all about? We've seen some phenomenal results recently in some of the teams that have been working with this program. Tremendous growth in their organizations, rank advancement. Really, it's a step-by-step method of not only being trained, motivated, and inspired, but also participating in those weekly activities that truly do grow your business step by step. One of those, as we introduce the 21 weeks, one of those important concepts that I want to just mention is that of culture. Culture is so very, very important. John Maxwell, who maybe you've read some of his books, such as The 21 Laws of Leadership or many others that he's written. In fact, he's written more books on leadership than any person in the history of the world. He makes the statement, culture eats vision for lunch every time. Now, vision is important. Don't underestimate this. Dreaming, having a vision board, pondering where you want to be in your business and in your life in the future, all of that is very important. But culture is more important. Culture is the day-to-day actions that you do. It's who you are. It's the things that you invest your time, energy, and effort into that become and grow into your vision and the accomplishments of the future, right? So culture is so important. And one thing that we maintain and that we fight to maintain in doTERRA is a culture of education. This is something that really distinguishes us, I think, from many others in our profession, is that we focus on teaching the benefit of our product, the uses of our product, and really meeting the needs of the people through an education model. Teaching them, truly teaching them on a one-on-one or small group or even large group basis, and identifying that we do have a culture of education. We also have a culture of servant leadership in doTERRA, and this is really important to me because it removes the focus from ourselves and puts the focus on others. And there's a magic that kind of happens there when we start to do that, right? We focus on the growth and development of other people in our team, and then we're taken care of in the process. And so we do focus on serving others. And this actually, when we keep in mind that we have a culture of education, a culture of servant leadership, then it walks us directly into what I want to call some of the laws of attraction, right? Some of the things that help us grow our business even faster. And every action we take either attracts or repels. And, I kind of like the word action when you look at it a little bit. You can see there's a key word there in the middle, or there on the end, and that's action. There is no attraction without action. And so some of these things I'm going to share with you over the next couple minutes, if you'll take action on those, then you are going to attract rather than repel. And this is a business, right, where we want to attract people to us at every possibility. Of course, we have the amazing benefit of the essential oils, and oftentimes just the aroma of the oils alone, right, will help attract people to us or even open a conversation, which is definitely a valuable benefit of the oils. Some other basics that we need to be aware of and focus on is, and this may seem very simple, but it's so powerful, and that's to smile. Smile, smile, smile. Smile, be happy. People can tell when you're smiling, even if you're talking to them on the phone. They can feel it. They can sense it in your tone, in your energy. You've got to get happy now. If you wait for circumstances to make you happy, you never will be. And this is a huge issue, I think, in our society as a whole. You have to develop happiness in your heart through a culture of service. If you're waiting on your success to be happy, you won't be. That's another huge thing. Choosing to be happy now. If you're trying to wait, well, I'll be happy when I'm diamond or presidential diamond or whatever you're thinking, that isn't going to be the case. You've got to choose that now and let go of the things that make you sad. Oftentimes, they're not within your ability to control anyhow. Act the way you want to feel, and soon you will feel the way you act. So smile, be happy, let people feel and sense your enthusiasm and your excitement. It's been said that if you set yourself on fire, people will drive from miles around to watch you burn. Now, obviously, we don't mean to really set yourself on fire for real, but letting people feel your energy and your excitement and your enthusiasm level through your body language and the tonation in your voice and your facial expressions, that draws people. People are driven to associate with folks that are passionate about their dreams and purpose. And so let people feel that. Next, you want to embrace adversity. Embrace adversity. We're all going to have adversity. And regardless of your rank, your income level, where you are in life, at times, this is just part of life. It happens. So we want to embrace it. We want to work through it. We want to understand that there will be challenges ahead of all different shapes and sizes. And there's a great quote that one of my mentors has on his desk that he reads every single day, and that is that the battle must be fought anew every single day. So embrace those challenges. They will actually provide you more personal development growth than almost anything else. You want to turn your fears into fuel. Now, fear is an interesting thing. In our business, we typically come across 3 different kinds of fear. First is the fear of rejection. Now, this doesn't happen as much, at least in my experience, doesn't happen as much as it used to in the earlier years of our profession or even the earlier years of our company. Fear of rejection can be overcome simply by doing. So if our fear is that people are going to say no when we're trying to share a sample with them or talk to them about the oils, some will. So what? Next, right? So we move on, and just by continuing to do, we overcome that fear of rejection. And understand that not everyone needs our business. I do feel everyone needs our product. They just may not know it yet, right? So focusing on education will help them to realize that they have that need. Fear of failure, and this is one that I think we can fairly easily overcome. The company is no longer on trial. doTERRA is not on trial. We're 8 years old now, and things have been amazing. There's been struggle, there's been growth, but we have so many presidentials and blue diamonds and many, many diamonds and thousands of these other ranks up and coming in the leadership crew. All of this documents that it's working. Every single new rank advancement that happens each month documents that it's working. And so it's not a matter of if doTERRA works. If we work, doTERRA works. And so that should help in overcoming fear of failure, but we have to take action to employ that law of attraction. And then the third fear is actually the hardest. That's the fear of success. Realizing that it is possible to have success, and realizing that the fear of success sometimes limits us. Sometimes it causes self-sabotage, and often it's a worthiness issue. We don't feel inside that we're worthy to have the level of success that we are pursuing. And those can be overcome, those fears can be overcome by our own personal development, by realizing that success and money, it's nothing but a tool, guys. It makes you more of who you are. If you're a good person, it's going to make you more of a good person. If you're a not so good person, then it could amplify that as well. And so eliminate that fear of success by realizing there's a lot of people in need. There's a lot of people that need help and support in this world. And that by you being successful and helping your team become successful, all of you collectively can help those organizations, churches, charities, and individuals help to have a healthier, happier life. And so we can eliminate the fear of success. Next law of attraction is the power of association, and I love this one. You do need to be mindful of who your associates are, who your friends are. Obviously, we can't choose our family, right? We're married or born to them, and we love them. It's been said that we are the sum total of the 5 to 10 people we associate with the most, right? That really seems to affect how we think, how we feel. My encouragement to you is that we create mastermind groups, people that have done what you're doing, or are doing what you're doing, that have had success at it, that can give you that positive encouragement and feedback. And then we be mindful and careful of who we give the keys of our brain to, right? It's just something that we need to talk about. If we're aware of who's feeding us, who's planting those thoughts and information in our minds, just be mindful that they are someone that you want to emulate, that you want to copy, that are having the results and success that you would like to achieve. And those would be the people to take advice from or have as mentors. So we need to focus on masterminding with those successful people, be aware of what we're putting in our brains as far as entertainment, media, things we're reading, things we're listening to. If we get into a negative space, and it happens to all of us, it even happens to me sometimes, and I rely on my sweetheart and those closest to me to just pull me out of it, because none of us are immune. But we've got to realize if our thinking is stinking, our team is going to be shrinking, right? So we cannot have stinking thinking. And as Zig Ziglar has said, sometimes you need a checkup from the neck up to get the weeds out of our brain garden and plant better crop and better seed and be able to be mindful of our vision and what we're creating. Finally, and this one, we'll have a little bit of fun with this, don't take yourself too seriously, because no one else does. Sometimes we get too caught up in the fact that we might be just all that, right? And we're not. So have fun with this, have fun with your business, and just remember, don't take it too seriously. Now, personal development is key. It's critical. Many of you have heard me talk about this before. To become a leader, to become a producer, to become the person that you want to be in your business, you have to invest time, energy, and effort into you. The books that you're reading, the audio programs you're listening to, all of this is so important to continue your growth. This business makes you grow. It forces it on you whether you like it or not. And you never arrive, by the way. Some people feel that, well, I've learned enough, I know enough. And if you ever think you're done learning, you're done. It's a never-ending journey, guys. I'm still learning. We've been using essential oils for 20 plus years, still learning about them. Been working in this business for over 20 years, still learning, still growing, and it's a never-ending process. Now, if you need some added ammunition for why you should be reading and investing in your personal development every day, check out these stats. And these are actually from the richhabitsinstitute.com. They've been doing some research on this, and this was quite revealing. 88% of wealthy read 30 minutes or more each day for education or career reasons versus only 2% of the poor. Okay, that's a huge spread, right? 88% to 2%. 86% of wealthy believe in lifelong educational self-improvement versus 5% of the poor. Again, big numbers there. 86% of wealthy love to read versus 26% of the poor. I might add it's what they're reading. I promise you they're not reading romance novels. And finally, 63% of wealthy listen to audiobooks during the commute to work versus 5% of poor people. So just looking at those numbers there, which side do you want to be on, right? Which side do you want to be on? It's I think, a pretty obvious choice. Now, if you're looking for some suggested reading ideas, here's just a few of the books that I recommend. The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, number one, phenomenal resource. I've read it many times. Read it with a highlighter. You're going to need it. The GoPro book by Eric Worre as well. The One Thing by Gary Keller. Making the First Circle Work by Randy Gage. Get Off the Bench by me, specific to doTERRA. These other 4 books are not specific to doTERRA, and Get Off the Bench is. So any of these are great, or if you have other books that you've already started to read, those are great as well, as long as you're investing in your own personal development. Now, you probably have figured out that this week's assignment for starting out the 21-week campaign in the Leader Circle, that the weekly challenge this week is going to involve your reading. Now, if you've chosen the part-time track, your assignment is to make sure you have 15 minutes each day this week, Monday through Sunday, in a personal development book of your choice, and that's going to give you 20 points in our contest. And if you're in the Going For It or All In track, then that's a 30-minute commitment each day this week, and that will give you 40 points towards the challenge. So this is your challenge for this week, and do make sure and record your results so that you'll be awarded your points. And we look forward to chatting with you in future weeks. Thanks, everyone.